Hey, what is going on everybody? Desir here with another Cosmic Crucible video. We are currently in round 2 for week 3. My opponent today is Dragonsley, and I do need to try to go at least 2-1 this week, otherwise I will be dropping down to Diamond 3. I don't want to do that, but if I do, that just means I'm going to have to climb back up to Masters 1, and that's just going to get me a little bit more experience as far as what to do and how to kind of pivot. I'm still experimenting with my defenses and everything, however, I feel better today than I did yesterday as far as the defense goes. Yesterday's defense, it kind of had a little bit too much in one area, and I think that kind of caused some issues for me. Now, if this is the content that you guys like, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's take a look at my opponent, Dragonsley. And here's my opponent, Dragonsley. He's about 84 million TCP, and we had very similar scores on the round 1. We both dropped one match, and he got about 780 as far as his total points at the end. I was 781, so this should be a very good close matchup. I think if I drop one match, I might be in a little bit of trouble though, so I'm going to try to aim for perfection on my attacks and kind of see what happens from there. And this is what we're facing today. So in stage 1 is going to be the Superior 6 team. Stage 2, they actually put X-Treme X-Men with Rogue in there. I haven't faced that myself, but I have heard that gives a lot of people issues, so that's going to be pretty fun to try to experiment with. Stage 3, there is a new Avengers with Fury. Stage 4 is Black Knight, Captain America, Quicksilver, Doom, and Dorm, so that could be a little bit trickier as well depending on what we have left. Stage 5 is a Spider Society Tangled Web combo, so that's going to be pretty fun to test as well. And Stage 6 is Secret Defenders with Morgan. For Stage 1, we're going to use the Dorky Special. This is a great counter anytime you see the Superior 6, and you can do very big punch-ups. This is going to be about 1.3 million, and the positioning absolutely matters. On the far end, you want Super Skrull, then Doom next to him. That way when Super Skrull takes his 2 turns, Doom will be getting hit, and hopefully you will be able to get pushed by him. The following person that would end up going if that doesn't happen is going to be Hawkeye, and then again, he would get hit, and Doom would hopefully get pushed at that point. So let's go ahead, enter the match, and see how this one plays out. For this matchup, Super Skrull is a striker, and Doom is a skirmisher. Super Skrull is going to go first. I'm going to use the basic on the lizard, and that's going to get disrupt on him. Super Skrull is going to go again. I'm going to target the Green Goblin Classic and use the special. That's going to get the exposed mechanic on him and do a nice turn meter rewind. Unfortunately, Doom did not get pushed off of that. So Hawkeye's up next. I'm going to do the special on Kraven, and that's going to do a turn meter rewind to the other side of the field. Doom is now pushed, so I'm going to use the ultimate, and Super Skrull will go for the ride. As far as the characters I want to get vulnerable on, I'm going to target the Green Goblin Classic with the basic first. Next, I'm going to target the Kraven because he's the next kind of biggest character and biggest threat. And the last character I'm going to target is going to be the Spider Slayer. I'm going to use the special to blow up the Doombots. Super Skrull is now up, and I'm going to end up using the ultimate on the Spider Slayer. And that did kill everybody except for the lizard, so now I'm just going to use my basics and special to finish him off. So for this counter here, I unfortunately had to use my Super Skrull in that stage 1, so I'm going to try and use the PEGASUS team as the counter here. I know some people have tried using the Hivemind, and that usually works, but that's without the Rogue version, so I wanted to definitely give this one a test, and if this fails, I'm going to end up using my Hivemind as the cleanup, so that's my plan for this attack. So the first thing I want to do, Kestrel's going to go first. I'm going to target Forge and do the ultimate. Unfortunately, that did not crit, so I pretty much lost the match right here. Ironheart's gonna end up doing the ultimate. I was able to get the stun on the Forge. And for rescue, I'm gonna use the ultimate. I wanna flip those defense downs, and that's gonna get me the immunity that I need so I don't get any more bleeds and ability blocks. Darkhawk, I'm gonna end up using the ultimate. And that Nightcrawler is definitely throwing a monkey wrench into this. You see all the evades popping off from it. The Iron Man Infinity War, it was able to do the ultimate, and that got rid of Forge. Now Rogue has that taunt on her, and that's going to be the next issue I'm facing here. Gambit doing the ultimate, flipping those positive effects, that's a huge deal, and it pretty much clinched that I was going to lose it. As you see, my health is dropping too low, so I'm definitely going to try to take as many characters as I can out for the cleanup. Kestrel, I end up doing that special. And for Iron Man, I'm going to use the special, and I'm aiming to kill that Nightcrawler, which I got killed off right there. Here, Gambit ends up doing that special again, and it's popping more bleeds out. Sunspot end up doing the special, and now it's just down to Kestrel and 3 X-Men, so I'm definitely in a better spot for when I end up doing the cleanup with the Hivemind. This was a very dangerous team, and I could see why people are putting this in Stage 2. For the cleanup, I'm going to use the Hivemind. This should work very well and give me a little bit more efficiency back, considering this is now a 2-tap room. So Void Knight will be going first. I'm going to end up doing the ultimate on Gambit. That's just going to pull them in, and y'all get the ability block from it. For Carnage, I'm going to end up doing the ultimate on the Sunspot. He's a lot squishier, and that got me some turn meter back. Gwenum, I'm going to use the ultimate on Rogue, and that striker attack from Gwenum does end up killing Rogue. Red Goblin, I'm going to end up doing the ultimate, and that finishes him off. For the new Avengers with Fury, I'm going to use the War Dogs. This is still a pretty fast team, and it can kind of take out some of the B-tier teams that we find in Cosmic Crucible, so this team should work for me. So Tigra is a very fast character, as you see. She ends up going first and targeting the Nakia, and she gets the assist coming in. Then Coulson ended up going. It's finally my turn, so for Black Panther 1 mil, I'm going to end up doing the ultimate on Tigra to take her buffs away. Now that Okoye is up, I'm going to do the special, starting from Coulson so I can kind of chain across. And that does call in some assist from the War Dogs. Black Panther goes next. I'm going to target one of the minions first, that way he can get a kill. And now I'm going to end up doing the ultimate from Black Panther. I'm going to target the Mockingbird from that. And again, that calls assist in. She ends up living though. Black Panther does get another turn. I'm just going to take out a minion real quick. And now I'm going to target the Fury, and I was hoping I'd have enough assist to kill him off. He did unfortunately live. I do the special from the Shuri, and now that it's Nakia's turn and she didn't die, I'm just going to use the ultimate and get some nice rebound chain damage. I should have targeted Ronan there first, instead of the Fury. More minions end up coming down, and this is causing me to take a lot more turns than I initially planned for this too. However, I am in control of this matchup. For the Black Panther 1 mil, I'm going to do the special, and I'm going to target the minion, so that way I can kind of chain back and forth. I was hoping I'd be able to hit Mockingbird and Ronan, but unfortunately it didn't really pan out that way. So it's back to Black Panther's turn. I'm going to use the special. I get the kill from the Ronan. I'm going to target Coulson. I take him out. And then now I just have to worry about this last minion. For stage 4, I'm going to use my Cabal and Apocalypse here. I'm adding Vulture in as well, so I have an additional turn meter rewind. So Vulture will be going first. I debate about starting with the special so I can try to get the flip on the Black Knight, but instead I opted to do the ultimate so I can do a little bit more turn meter rewind and start with some control in the matchup. The Iron Patriot goes next. I used the special that does end up killing the life off Doom once, and I get a nice assist on the Black Knight. Namor is up next. I do the ultimate that gets another turn meter rewind. Doom is now gone, and Quicksilver cannot be revived. Now that Vulture's back up, now I do the special, and that got me the flips on the Black Knight that I needed. I do lose Vulture there. Leader, I actually use the ultimate, that way I can get rid of the extra life, and now the Black Knight is dead. Apocalypse goes, I use the ultimate, and the match is over. For stage 5, I'm going to use the Masters of Evil against the Spider Society and Tangled Web team. I wasn't sure really what to use here because of the Tangled Web portion of this. This is a pretty interesting team, and Pav is only 2 red that you see on here, but you're going to be kind of surprised at how tanky he is. So Titania does start the match off with this. I'm going to use the ultimate on the Spider Weaver. I want to make sure to ability block her, that way I don't have to worry about the trauma stun and those charges. Kang goes next. I'm going to target Peter B. Parker and use the special. And for Ultron's turn, I'm going to end up targeting the Pav, and I'm going to use the special for that turn meter rewind. And you see it barely did any damage to him. He's surprisingly very tanky. For Moonstone, I use the ultimate on the Ghost Spider. And here I'm just going to use these basics. I'm trying to control the match. I'm trying to make sure to push the turn meter down. I don't really want them going off on me. For the Ultron bots, now I'm going to start doing the rewind on Ghost Spider. For Absorbing Man, I do the special. And again, Pav hasn't really taken a lot of damage for how many hits he's done. So when Pav gets up there, he's going to be very dangerous in Cosmic Crucible, I believe. And for stage 6, I'm used the Superior 6 into the Secret Defenders with Morgan Le Fay. This is a really good efficiency kill as well, so this one shouldn't take many turns. Lizard will be starting the match off. I'm going to use the ultimate. That's going to strip all the buffs away, including those 9 lives that Black Cat has. Green Goblin Classic goes next. I'm going to use the ultimate. And that's going to do a nice turn meter rewind and throw some debuffs out there along with the trauma. And there the Ms. Marvel Harlite ends up doing the ultimate on Lizard and doing the rewind as well on Doc Ock. For Kraven's turn, I'm going to target Black Cat and do the special. That way you can get the ability block on her. For Spider Slayer, I'm going to use the special. That's actually going to do quite a bit of damage. And because the Spider Slayer is a striker, the follow-up does end up killing the Black Cat. The Robbie does have a lot of bleeds on him and he's very low on health. The Green Goblin Classic Retaliate actually killed him and Photon fell over from the bleeds. The Green Goblin is now going to do the special and that finishes the match. I did end up losing this match. My opponent got a 50,154, so I actually felt pretty good as far as how my defense went. Being able to hold your opponent to that low of a score usually means that you can win, especially if you can get your one-shots. So I need to kind of clean up that stage 2 attack that I did where I dropped the X-Treme X-Men with Rogue, so I do need to make that adjustment the next time I face a defense that is like this. So props to you, that was a great defense that you had going. As far as my score, I got a 49,775. I wish I would have had a little bit more efficiency. So let's go ahead, look at the rooms, and see what happened with the attacks. For stage 1, I got an 8360. I think something I could have done at the end is instead of using the ultimate from Minerva to get the kill, I could have done the special and try to bring Cabal back. That might have got me a little bit more efficiency points on this one, so that's a lesson learned for the future. For stage 2, this is where I dropped that PEGASUS attack and then I did the cleanup for the Hivemind. So ideally what I wanted to happen was Kestrel doing the ultimate on Forge. You want to make sure that she gets the crit, so that is going to be RNG based. If that happens, there's a good chance that Forge should be able to die from that hit, and then you'd have a lot more control over the matchup. As far as the score goes, I got a 7963 on this one. For stage 3, I got an 8355, so this one definitely wasn't as efficient as I wanted it to be, but it still got the job done, and I was pretty happy I used this team here. I'm not sure what else I had in the bank that I could have used, since I did use that Masters of Evil on stage 5, and I'm pretty sure the War Dogs wouldn't have been able to handle that matchup, so overall, this one did do its job for me. For stage 4, I got an 8362. The efficiency wasn't the greatest because I did lose that Vulture, and I did take some pretty serious damage on that Iron Patriot and Namor. Because this is a Black Knight team, I'm pretty happy with the score on this one and the team. However, I don't really think I needed the Apocalypse on this one, because at the end, by the time he did the ultimate, the match was pretty much over already. For stage 5, I got an 8366. That is actually pretty surprising because it is kind of just the 3-piece Spider Society with the Tangled Web. The Pav, I was very impressed with how well he took the hits, and the Peter B. Parker being a little bit faster, it definitely made it to where I had to do more control than usual on this one. I'm pretty sure by the time the 5-piece comes out, that could be a pretty interesting team to put into this room. For stage 6, I got an 8369. The Superior 6 team is a great team to use if you need a high efficiency kill on the Secret Defenders and you don't have that Cabal, Lizard, and Vulture team that I typically use in here. This is a very good one to use as well. For my defenses in stage 1, I had Black Knight, then Captain America. Those two have very good synergy together. And then I put Phoenix, Rogue, and Gambit together. And Phoenix and Rogue both give health and damage increases to Gambit. So every time that you go, you're going to get retaliated by Black Knight and Gambit, and you can definitely see the damage that this did. When I actually watched the replay on this, they used the Masters of Evil 3-piece with Apocalypse and Kestrel. Kestrel was mainly there just to shut down the Phoenix, and then the Retaliates just kept hitting them so hard, I actually almost pulled it off. So I was very happy with this team and the placement that I had in here. For stage 2, my opponent got an 8366. So they did use the full Bifrost as the counter in my Bifrost death pool. I know the Bifrost team scales very well, and as far as power levels go, I have Sylvie, Vol, and Deathpool all level 100. Beta Ray Bill and Teen Loki are both level 95, G18 for everybody. So I think this is my stopping point. I don't want to overinvest in this team because they are kind of getting on their way out and they're not really used elsewhere. So I'm just going to keep this team here probably for the next week, and I'll probably decide if I want to keep this team or go back to PEGASUS in 2. For stage 3, my opponent got an 8367. Now, this X-Treme X-Men with Dorm did end up pulling the Cabal along with Hela and Zombie Iron Man. I thought that was pretty interesting. That's the team that they used here, but they still got a pretty good efficiency score, so it did work for them on this one. For stage 4, they got an 8371, so this was a very good efficiency hit for them. They used their Hivemind Super Skrull into my Black Order with Omega Red team. So this did end up pulling the Super Skrull into here, but it got a very good efficiency score, and the fact they didn't need that elsewhere kind of speaks volumes as far as how my defense is set up. For stage 5, my opponent got an 8351. They used the Spider-Man Big Time with the Eternals, Nova, Omega Red into my Infinity Watch. The Infinity Watch can definitely pull a very good efficiency score for you when they're on defense. I do already have plans as far as next week on how my defense is going to change, so stay tuned later in the video for how I plan on doing a few moves. And for stage 6, I almost pulled the win out on this one as well. So that's 2 rooms I almost got the victory on. So again, I'm pretty happy with how my defense is. I'm just going to make a few tweaks. My opponent did get a 83-51 as far as the score went, and it basically came down to Robbie and Ms. Marvel Hardlight and the 3 characters that you see standing there, the Firestar, Cloak, and Dagger, and they all almost bled out, so it was that close to a victory for me on this one. So overall, I am very happy with the matchup that I had, and I got paired up against Dragonsley. I hope you had a good matchup as well if you're watching this video. Now as far as the tweaks that I plan on making, so Penny does come out on Friday, so next week I'm actually going to put the full 5-piece Spider Society in stage 5, and I'm going to move my Infinity Watch to stage 4. The reason for that is if anybody tries to use any villains into that Infinity Watch, they're going to be a lot less health. So characters like the Omega Red, or if they try to use Darkhold as the counter on that, they're going to kind of be at a disadvantage. As far as the Spider Society, we saw what the 3-piece with Tangled Web did, and there was another video I was watching with Dorky Dad where he was going against, I believe, a 4-piece, or it might have been a 3-piece with Spider-Woman, and that matchup was scary as well. So adding the full 5-piece into stage 5, and the fact that they do get the immunities and all the buffs, that's going to make them very dangerous, and I think people are going to either underestimate the team or overinvest in the team. So that's my plan for what I'm going to do next week for my defense. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.